Number 10. Railwayman rescues child. You ever see one of those old movies where the damsel in distress finds herself trapped on a railway track as a train rounds the corner? Yeah. Well, that's no longer something that only happens in fiction, although we're no longer stuck in the Wild West, so that's something...
I'm gonna save you! Everybody, it's your boy AKJ coming to you live with an all new video. So next month, in the month of August, I have committed myself to make a video every single day of the month of August. I have to do it. I gotta do it. I have to. So and let me know in the comments what you want to see. I want to do like different things. I'm gonna try to do some scary stuff, some wrestling stuff, some funny stuff, some, just a bunch of things. We're gonna do it, and then hopefully get our subscribers up. We got 2 in the last couple of weeks, but I thank you all for tuning in, subscribing. That's a great joy to me. So today we're gonna be watching 15 people who were saved by luck. I don't believe in luck. I believe in blessings. So I believe they were saved for a reason. They were saved because God needed them to be here. All right. So let's go ahead and get started. And we're going to get started today. All right, here we go.
You ask people what superpower they want, you always get the same answers. Invisibility, flight,
right.
But why does nobody ever say luck?
Unlucky.
That's not a superpower.
Yeah.
I mean, a superpower where nothing will go wrong for you? Come on, man! So let's take a look at some of the world's luckiest people, shall we? From a guy who narrowly avoided becoming shark food to a toddler saved by an attentive passerby. Let's see 15 times people got saved by luck.
Did he fall down a hole? Wait, did he just fall down by... That's one thing I am afraid of. That's one thing I'm truly afraid of. Just walking and minding my own business. You just...
Number 15. Surfing the dead whale. Just because somebody is lucky, it doesn't mean they're smart. In fact, this guy is pretty clearly the exact opposite of smart.
Why would you leave the dead whale alone?
Kind of guardian angel looking out for him, or he's just, unthinkably lucky. This Australian man made the very questionable decision to climb on top of a dead whale floating offshore.
Hey Harrison, where the sharks in?
You may be sitting there thinking, why? It's an excellent question. There isn't an answer. He apparently just thought it would be a fun time. Of course, that misjudged belief quickly faded when he realized that a group of large sharks were interested in getting a closer look at the whale and the guy on top of it. Thankfully, his buddy in the boat managed to head over and save him before the situation escalated, and you can bet that it would have been escalated. I mean, the guy was on top of a dead whale. Dead meat on dead meat. Somehow this guy managed to defy what, in any other circumstance, would have been certain death. So clearly luck is not just something that we make for ourselves. It's also something stupid people have when they make terrible decisions. Before we go on, like this video, smash the subscribe button and click the notification bell right now, or this centipede will crawl on your face when you're sleeping. Number 14. Toddler falls off escalator. Free tip for any parents who happen to be watching: your children cannot be trusted. And by that I obviously mean that they cannot be trusted. Okay, yeah, there was no other way to say that. Just take a look at this footage and maybe you'll understand. While with his parents at a shopping
If I would
mall,
have did that as a kid, I would have got my
4-year-old
A
got
handed
bit
to
too
me.
close to the escalator. And by
Get
too
your-
close, I
come on.
mean he grabbed
Over
hold of
here.
the moving handrail and did not let go. It's
stupid
easy
self.
to see how horrifically wrong this could go, but thankfully somebody is paying attention. While the child's parents are, MIA, this good Samaritan happens to spot the child approaching the top of the handrail. When the child finally reaches that point and starts to drop, the guy just about manages to catch the kid, saving him from serious injury. Look, this is obviously a pretty terrifying thing for any
I would let him fall.
experiencing.
Learn his
but if
lesson.
You're not going to pay attention to your kids.
I've been right. I'll let him fall and stand right there.
It'll either
Learn your
turn out
lesson.
to be some
You learn your lesson? You stupid. Go find your mama. Find your mama.
incredible 1980s style adventure where the kid ends up running a company, or it'll be this. Either way, the parents are gonna suffer. Number 13. Pavement swallows girl.
See?
Look, there's a huge amount of things that could go horribly wrong while walking down the street. Being swallowed whole by the pavement was probably not your first guess, but if you happen to be walking around in northern China, it's a possibility apparently. This unsuspecting woman was
What?
just enjoying her day, happily speaking with her friend while having a stroll.
Yeah, Sarah, I
Not
just
a
went
care
down
in
the street
world.
and got me some ice cream.
Before
Yeah.
she
Oh,
to figure out what was happening, she was 19 feet underground. Luckily for her,
Yeah,
this
Sarah, I'm sorry.
unfortunate
He
incident
ain't
got
shit,
folded
girl. I
right
mean, I'm sorry, I'm
before a
cussing.
kind
Ah!
Samaritan in the form of a taxi driver who immediately leaped out of his car to try and help. When she didn't respond, the guy climbed into the hole after her, clinging to a piece of rope as his only safety measure. Thankfully for everybody, the girl was totally fine and was soon saved by local firemen. This girl certainly got very, very lucky. Had this happened when nobody was around to help, who knows what could have unfolded? I guess the lesson here is that we should all think twice before walking. Oh, well, anywhere there's a floor, I guess.
Right.
I'm strictly flying from here on out. Number 12. Woman falls off train. There really should be some internationally accepted rules for how to behave on public transport, like for instance, not trying to climb off while the train is in motion. I don't know, it seems so simple, but this woman discovered the hard way why it's such a bad idea, and boy did she get lucky. While trying to step off a moving train in India, the woman unknowingly gets herself caught on something inside. The second she steps off the train, she's yanked back.
I'm sorry for laughing. I wasn't laughing at that. I know how you just randomly think of things. That just happened.
Back before being dragged right alongside the train. And I think we can all agree that nobody should ever find themselves in this kind of situation.
Oh, Lord!
Thankfully, many of the people waiting
Oh.
on the platform, as well as those already on the train, did their best to help save her life before something truly awful happened. And they say guardian angels don't exist? Okay, so they're not guardian angels, they're just people waiting for a train. But who knows? Guardian angels probably
Yeah.
have better
Oh,
things
Lord,
to do than
Jesus.
train stations for the exact moment somebody does something
Lord,
stupid.
oh,
If
Lord!
they did that, they'd never get anything done. Number 11. The Teen Castaway. When you live your life out on the open ocean, you probably shouldn't be too surprised when you know the tide turns, and things go horribly wrong. Unless you're Aldi Adelang, in which case you have every right to be surprised when everything goes wrong. This 19-year-old somehow managed to survive 49 days lost at sea on a fishing trip. And as far as I know, the guy never actually saw the movie Castaway. Adelang was living on the fishing trap when the rope anchored a strong wind to blow him over 1,200 miles away into Japanese waters. And being a fishing trap, Adelang had absolutely no steering and no controls of any kind of a situation. And if you're wondering how exactly he managed to survive so long, he caught fish and drank seawater he filtered through his shirt. Now that's creativity. Some of you will be saying that this is not luck, but just a guy discovering his inner MacGyver. And sure, that's true, but also we can't...
I would have been dead. You want me to drink what? Damn.
And all be lucky enough to be MacGyver, right? I mean, I couldn't last a week on a
Supposed to cut
fishing
this
trap at
fish
sea,
up?
but then I wouldn't really be found anywhere
Lord.
near a fishing trap. Number 10. Railwayman rescues child. You ever see one of those old movies where the damsel in distress finds herself trapped on a railway track as a train rounds the corner? Yeah. Well, that's no longer something that only happens in fiction, although we're no longer stuck in the Wild West, so that's something.
I'm gonna save you!
With his blind mother, this 6-year-old boy tunneled toward the edge of the train platform and fell off, right onto the train tracks. Unable to see what had happened, the mother immediately begins reaching out for him in a moment of desperation. But of course, it's no good. As the boy falls onto the tracks, the train starts rounding the corner, making for one of the most terrifying sights imaginable. Thankfully, a nearby railwayman is unwilling to let the young boy lose his life, and rushes in to save the day. The Good Samaritan hoists the kid onto the platform, as well as himself, right in the nick of time. Mere seconds later, the train barrels through the very spot the boy was lying just a moment earlier. The savior quickly became a public hero, and so he should. The guy basically is an Indian Superman at this point. Number 9. Whale protects diver. Far be it from me to call superpowered beings lucky, but, well, Aquaman is definitely one of the more fortunate people in the world, right? Well, how about Aquawoman? Okay, so that's not her official name, but Nan Hauser is about as close to Aquawoman as we're gonna see. While swimming off the coast of the Cook Islands in 2017, marine biologist Nan Hauser happened to encounter a humpback whale that was, acting kinda strange. No matter what, the whale just kept bumping into her with its head and belly, even trying to carry her quite a few times. As a professional marine expert, Hauser just assumed that the whale was having an off day, but soon discovered the truth when she returned to her research vessel. There she saw that, while she had been swimming, a 15-foot tiger shark was swimming nearby.
There's a big tiger shark up there.
The whale was simply protecting her from the shark. Now, I know that's an Aquawoman thing. Humpback whales have long been known to protect other species from predators, including baby gray whales. According to experts, that's just part of the natural animal instinct. Whales are naturally protective of animals, or at least they're more than willing to look out for Aquawoman. Number 8. Missing woman found at sea. I think even the least religious people in the world would likely believe something miraculous to have occurred if they went through what Angelica Gaitan did to call...
I'm sorry for laughing, Lord. I really am. I'm so sorry. It's not about that she survived. It was just that she was just, oh, Lord.
Her story a miracle feels like an absurd and hilarious understatement. 2 years after her disappearance, Angelica was found at sea off the coast of Colombia, unconscious and suffering from hypothermia. A fisherman spotted her floating around 1.2 miles off the coast, but initially assumed that she was a log, until she raised her arms to wave. The fisherman and his friends quickly had over, helping her onto their boat and saving her life from certain death.
Got no energy
Something
left.
even she acknowledged. Her first words after being rescued were simply, "I was born again. God did not want me to die." I'll say, anybody with worse luck would have been very unfortunate. It's believed that Angelica was at sea for around 8 hours before she was eventually rescued. Immediately after her dramatic rescue, she was taken to hospital and reunited with her family, who were obviously very grateful and stunned to be reunited with her. Jeez, I'm not sure I was prepared for the number of twists in this story. Number 7. Marine survives headshot.
What?
Helmets save helmets. Yeah, that doesn't work, but the point is that helmets, they save lives. And we want to make sure that absolutely everybody knows that. So this video might be one of the most helpful tools we have at our disposal. This US Marine was fighting in Afghanistan when he had what must have been the closest brush with death in his entire life. A well-aimed Taliban sniper managed to land a headshot but just narrowly missed his target, accidentally hitting the Marine's helmet. Against all the odds, the Marine suffered no injuries. Surviving the encounter and continuing to fight alongside his fellow soldiers, who, by the way, were also incredibly lucky that the bullet didn't hit one of them. It's highly likely that with a little more precision, this could have turned into a far more messy situation. I guess the big lesson here is that helmets save lives, kids. I mean, sure, most of us aren't spending our lives being chased by snipers, but the point stands, if you want to protect your head, wear your lead. Okay, not all helmets are made of lead. What? Are we just gonna rip everything I say to pieces now? Number 6. Gamer saves seizing teen. Any self-respecting gamer knows that succeeding in video games is all about instinct, and this Texas gamer honed hers to such a degree that she was able to make a life or death decision, and save a life halfway across the world. And they say video gaming never gave us anything? While playing a game in his bedroom in England, Aiden Jackson suffered a seizure.
Police and my parents in the room and saying that I just had a seizure. I had no idea what was going on.
Alone in his room, this could have been a devastating situation, but thankfully he was playing with his video game partner, Dia Lathora, who lived in Texas. Realizing that Aiden was in trouble, Dia contacted the UK authorities to check in with him. A quick decision that ended up saving Aiden's life. His parents, who were watching television downstairs, had absolutely no idea anything was going on until the authorities turned up. Naturally, they praised Dia as a hero for her quick thinking and creative solution. So next time somebody says that video gaming is a waste of time, just remind them of this incredible incident. Sometimes video gaming can save a life. Although, you know, most of the time it's just a big exercise in frustration, so maybe this one was really luck? Number 5. Car thief returns baby. You want to know what true irony is? A car thief stole a car,
he wasn't trying to do a good thing. He didn't want to take care of
inside, drove back to
That's
the
the
mother,
real reason why.
returned the child,
Hey,
and threatened to call the police on her for making such poor decisions with her life. I mean, if anybody is going to know about making poor decisions. The incident unraveled in Beaverton, Oregon in January 2021.
Hey,
the
car,
mother,
where's she
Crystal,
at?
had gone into the
'Cause,
basics
she
meat
can have a car
market to
and a
grab a
baby
couple
back.
of items.
You know what I'm
For
saying?
reasons that are kind of strange, Crystal decided to leave the engine running, as well as her 4-year-old son inside. Sensing an opportunity, the thief stole the car and drove away, but had a change of heart when he realized the young boy was in there. Returning to the store, the thief screamed at the mother to take the child back, threatening to call the police. I mean, you can't make this stuff up. The mother got her son out of the car, and the thief drove away again. The boy was not harmed whatsoever in the incident, but I'm sure Crystal's ego was...
Hey, I don't want to take my own damn kids. Now, hey,
their child in a running car? Well, they head to the store. Number 4. The Woman of the Woods. We cannot stress this enough. Don't do drugs, kids. You'll just end up on a missing persons poster. That's what happened to Lisa Theris, a student who mysteriously vanished out of seemingly nowhere. Yet the more that the investigation uncovered, the more bizarre the whole ordeal became. The official investigation revealed 2 suspects early, Manly Davis and Randy Oswald. Those are some suspicious names if I ever heard any. As the last person to see Lisa alive, police began snooping around their business, eventually concluding that Lisa likely ran into the woods to escape their plot to rob a hunting lodge. But it turns out, that's not the end of the story.
What?
It's all about finding a road or finding a person.
With Lisa missing for 4 weeks, the two suspects began accusing the other of murdering her. And yet, just a few days later, Lisa was found alive, albeit confused and naked. According to Lisa, she survived by drinking muddy water. But her condition immediately raised more questions for the police, who altered their conclusion. According to them, Lisa was likely on meth when she escaped and had begun hallucinating. But why exactly the two suspects blamed the other of such graphic murders remains a total mystery. We'll just never know why such a strong partnership crumbled. Oh wait, we do know. Drugs. Don't do 'em, kids. Number 3. Diver escapes crocodile. I mean, we could probably get away without even showing the video for this one. A diver who escaped a crocodile, already unimaginably lucky, but just wait until you see it for yourself. This one was definitely far too close for comfort. Pretty much as soon as the diver delves beneath the surface, it's clear that this is an unfamiliar and dangerous world. I mean, look at the color of that water. The dangling branches and plants. It literally looks like you're in some kind of death swamp. But then, of course, everything goes very wrong. The diver finds himself face to face with the crocodile in all its terrifying glory. And for what seems like an eternity, absolutely nothing happens. And then, the crocodile slinks its way back up to the surface before coming back, sending the camera crew swimming for their lives. Eventually, the diver and the camera guy head back to the surface of the water, escaping the water and living to tell the tale. But boy, was that a close call. And yet,
I don't know what the close call was.
This dude would dive back under and do the whole thing over again. What a wild life we live, eh? Number 2. Superhero Dad. Look, our world seems determined to claim that superheroes do not exist, but clearly they do, because if they didn't, this dad would have had a devastatingly depressing Christmas. Take a look at this video and you'll see a true hero in action. Honestly, I think this guy might be the Flash. While visiting a bike shop in Indonesia with his 2 children, this father sprung into action.
Hey, it's just me. Was that a snake too? I saw a snake going like this away.
When he noticed a car speeding towards them. As you can see from this surveillance footage, the children were playing around when the car span out of control. As he turns at just the right moment, the super dad realizes what's happening and launches forward, pulling his children to safety in the nick of time. And with one hell of a dramatic scene. Seriously, slot this guy into the superhero movies and you'll probably get the guy a spin-off. Perhaps most surprisingly of all is the fact that nobody was actually injured in this accident. Even the guy behind the wheel managed to escape unharmed. Just try and explain that one without using the word luck. Maybe it's nothing to do with superheroes. Maybe this was just the work of angels. Or aliens.
It's that thing right there. Is that a snake? I'm telling you, is that a snake?
1. Luckiest man alive. Some people are just born with a superhuman amount of luckiness. Things just kind of even themselves out, allowing these people to go through life without any kind of inconvenience or misfortune whatsoever. And who among us would not want that kind of power? Right? Take a look at this image from Saudi Arabia, and you'll see the value of having your superpower be luck. While walking down the street in Riyadh, this guy was lucky to narrowly miss being hit by a falling sheet of glass. The sheet misses the guy's head by mere inches, knocking his headscarf off and sending him crashing to the ground as the glass smashes behind him. The guy then gets up and goes about his day as usual, albeit more shaken than he was when he woke up, and understandably so. Look, there's no question that this guy is insanely lucky. I mean, if that glass had fallen a couple of inches over, that guy would almost definitely have been killed. It's hard to stress just how fortunate he is, just how fortunate he was in this particular situation. This wasn't just a brush with death. He could pretty much see death staring back at him.
I'm suing everybody. I'm suing who saw it. I'm suing all that. I'm suing everybody. I'm suing. Did y'all see that? I'm definitely suing. I'm suing somebody. Who did it? thank you all for, was that supposed to be trying to live or just reaction video? We're just gonna do a reaction and call it a day. I want to thank you all for tuning in. Tell me your most, the moment you thought you had some luck that you've been saved by somebody. I want to know because that was wild. So go ahead and leave a like and a comment and subscribe. I want to thank you all for tuning in. It's your boy KJ coming to you live, and I will see you next time.